Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So these painted ladies over here are in the seedling stage of me figuring out the direction I want to go in. So basically I recounted the story of what happened, a page from this particular art journal, Healing Ancestral Trauma. It fell out of the book. So I just said, you know what, I am going to cut out the figure. And I talked about it in another video. I don't even know where the figure is. Okay, so that's one of the figures. But basically, I decided to just cut out the figure, and this is another one, and hot glue it onto the page. So even this moon is hot glued. And then I started thinking about, hey, I like working in this way. So I went through an old journal of mine, maybe like from 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago even, and I saw all these beautiful figures and I decided to cut them out. And so now I'm thinking I want to make a brand new art journal using these ladies, because at first I thought I could put these ladies in this book over here, but I might use one for the cover, but honestly, there's just way too many of these ladies now, and I just feel like they deserve their own art journal. So I'm going to share what I have been doing, the direction that I'm going in, and what these ladies mean to me. And these aren't just cut out ladies anymore. These ladies are stories and they're symbols. They're actually archetypes, because once I cut them out and I started layering them, I put all sorts of meaning onto these ladies. And I talked about this before as well, like how do we create meaning in our art? Well, we get the meaning within ourselves. And then what we do is we put that meaning onto our art. Like we imbue the meaning of our stories, our what we want to convey, our visual language. All of those things come together so that we can tell a story. And then we create the meaning in our art. And the meaning doesn't have to be something really deep and profound. It can be very simple, like this sunflower, for instance, just evokes such a sense of joy and wonder and beauty and delight in my soul. And you can do a painting of that. That is equally as valid as something that is, very multi-layered, imbued with symbolism, etc. I think for me anyways, the trick is to figure out what makes me curious, what makes me happy, what makes me what puts me in a flow state. Like if I feel like I'm fighting against something, that's usually a sign that's not the way for me to go. So if, deep, symbolic, etc., all of that stuff doesn't feel right, then that's probably not a path that somebody should go down. But for me personally, like I love working like this. Like I am just over the moon. So basically what I did is, just like I do with my paintings, I started creating layers on these painted ladies. So for instance, like I put dictionary pages, I put these tea bags. Now I made these little mini collages over here a few months ago, and this was basically a learning tool for me about values, etc. And what I did now is I just cut out like little pieces that I thought like would look good, that would go with what I wanted to convey. So this piece over here is just a piece of like my mini collage. Now the great thing about this is it's all in my visual language. So it all fits together, but not in a like matchy way, but in a very deeply symbolic way. Like this is all me 100%, and this is all me, and this is all me. And it doesn't matter that they were from, 10 years ago, and another piece over here is from, a couple of months ago. They all go together because it's all in my visual language. I also am using all the lessons that I am still learning about, using color to convey emotions. And I made a video about this as well. So I'm just kind of pulling all these threads together, and I'm kind of constructing what I think the painted ladies are going to kind of unfold. Now, I have seen lots of brilliant paper artists who make like these doors and windows and pop-ups and accordion folds and all of these hidden worlds. Like you can open up a door and you'll see like a sunflower, and then you look behind the sunflower and you see something else, and it's so magical and fascinating. I love looking at it. Now, that being said, it's not what I want to explore right now. Like maybe down the road I might go down that path, but for right now my process is symbolic. I want these ladies themselves to be the treasure, and I want them to be the archetypal lessons. The stories are all being conveyed by the figure. So what I'm doing is I am taking my visual language. I am taking how can I share my stories in new ways. I'm taking archetypal psychology, especially the work of Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, and specifically the medial woman. And I'm combining all of these things together, and also healing. So I'm just like pulling threads from here and there. It's like a tapestry. And these ladies, to me, they are archetypes. They are energies. They are carrying stories older than I can name. They're carrying instinct and intuition, dreams, myth, memories. And I'm starting to look at my visual language a little bit differently. So I'm starting to like write down in my studio log, like what keeps on showing up in my visual language. Sometimes it's exactly the same thing, or sometimes it's a variation. I'm writing about what this means, what messages come with them, what shapes and colors and values am I always gravitating towards, or maybe a combination of values. Like for me personally, I like really light values against really dark values. Like I like that dynamic contrast. If something's too like middle value, I don't usually like it. It's too blah for me. So I'm just like noticing all of these things. And what I am kind of imagining is that the symbols on these ladies, they're not meant, it's not like a puzzle for me to solve, but they're more like an invitation. So they're like layers of language that I am just learning how to speak. And I'm so insanely excited about working in this way. So I just want to show you a couple of ladies and just explain what I mean. So for instance, this lady has a breast in the shape of a moon. So to me, this speaks of she is a keeper, and inside of the moon there are all these ovals, which to me they look like seeds. They're symbolic of potential. So to me, she is the archetype of becoming. So she's not a mother archetype, but she's more an archetype of transformation. And I haven't named her yet, but this is like the direction I am going in. And this lady over here, so she's got a lot of lines, and she's got these dots on her hair, and she's got this like very bold graphic pattern. So to me, these energies convey different things. So the lines are like memory and thought, and the dots are sparks of inspiration, awareness, and the black and white pattern, what it to me it represents is contrast and balance, light and shadow, logic and feeling, the seen and the unseen. So you know, we're getting into archetypes, we're getting into symbolism, we're getting into the world of the medial woman, how she brings things from this world and that, she carries things, you know, with ease. She stands at the margins, and she brings things from the seen world into the unseen world, and from the unseen world into the seen world. And I did name her, and her name is the Memory Keeper. So some of these ladies carry sorrow, others carry strength. Like this lady over here, she just embodies so much strength. Like, I know who I am, you know, I stand in my truth, etc., etc. But these are just different aspects of ourselves, of myself. Like some of them are protectors, some of them are you know, my child self. So this is a new way of working for me, and what I hope to do is to blend story, symbols, and soul. And I am so excited and curious to see where this goes. And I think that this way of working, if it appeals to you, because obviously, like I said, it's not going to appeal to everybody, but if it does appeal to you, I think a good starting point would be to focus on your particular visual language and the stories that you want to unfold in your art journal or your junk journal or your art, whatever you're making, and then to kind of see how you can convey that, like to work within your visual language. I think those are good starting points. That's the way I'm approaching it. Anyways, you guys, I hope that this has been inspiring and given you a new way of looking at things. And thanks so much for watching till the end, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.